Yeah, I've got collector problems. Hey guys, welcome back once again to Brotherhood of the Bat Collectibles, your one stop for all things high-end statue collecting reviews, unboxing, statue chats, live entertainment like Rogues Gallery Live, and so much more. My name is Chris, and I'm the Batman statue collector. And like I said at the beginning, we always, in the collecting community, have collector problems, right? Not enough space, not enough budget. You know, these are not real-world problems by any stretch of the imagination, but again, they are collector problems, and I have one. I have them all the freaking time, which is what we talk about here on the channel, but I have one right here with this Prime 1 Studio display. Now, as you guys know, if you follow this channel, I freaking love Prime 1 Studio. I love the Arkham line, I love the DC Comics line. I am a fanboy for sure. I love their products, and I cannot wait to see what else they come up with. So I've had a theme over the years, as you guys know, Batman surrounded by his villains. Now, due to space issues, some of that has had to change. I had Batman surrounded by his villains with the Arkham line. Well, I've sold half the Arkham line. Should I have done it? I'm still wondering if it was the right call or not. But that's always been my theme, Batman surrounded by his villains. Now, with this particular display here, as you can see, I have Batman Hush. It's my newest piece, and it's freaking unbelievable. It is just one of the best Batman statues ever created. Now, I'm going to preface this a little bit that I love this statue, but I'm not a fan of blue Batman. I've not been a giant fan. Of course, I grew up in the late 70s, mostly the 80s was my era, and that was the blue Batman. But I fell in love with Michael Keaton's 1989 suit, the black suit, and from then on I was a fan of more of the darker suit Batman. Okay, so whenever I'm making this display with all of the villains surrounded by Batman, that was my thinking. My original thought was I was going to put the Jason Fabok piece there. And one of my fellow Rogues Gallery folks said, "Hey Chris, that cape's going to block half the people, you won't be able to see them." And so I'm like, oh, you're right. I was getting this Hush Batcave edition as well. I'm like, okay, well maybe we could stick that one in there. Okay, and so I posted some photos. So you're going to see a lot of photos here on this video today because I posted it. It looks good, but I'm not in love with the colors. I don't like all of the bright colors. It's weird because I'm so used to like darks and grays in this Batcave that color freaks me out a little bit. And again, collector problem, right? So I've got this display, and I took a photo, and I offer some suggestions, or I need some suggestions, some ideas. Of course, in this shot here, I have the Ledger Joker 1/3. That one won't be in this collection. But I've got room for maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 more in this particular display. And my thought was I'm going to put Talon in there. I'm going to put Harley in there if she ever comes out. And I'm also going to put, Penguin or whoever else they do. I'm going to try to make this work. Of course, I am contemplating changing my display a little bit, but this is my display for right now. So, my good friend Eric B., of course, you guys know him, and I actually had other collectors as well email me because I asked on Rogues Gallery Live if somebody would Photoshop some of these things. So, Eric did one with this Hush, with a black version of this Hush, which is not even a thing. It's not even a thing, but we think it will become a thing. I contemplated getting Noel back, which I sold about a year or so ago. Getting Noel back as the centerpiece, because again, I like that black suit Batman better. And he also put the Fabok in there. And so I want to show you all of these photos, and I want you guys to see kind of which one you think looks best. My other idea is that I thought about taking Batman out of this display, moving him across the room with maybe some heroes. So the heroes across from the villains, and this would only be a villains display. It would not have Batman. Of course, that would open up another spot, because this Batman takes up a lot of space. But again, my theme's always been Batman surrounded by his villains. My Sideshow case is like that. Should that become my only case that's Batman surrounded by his villains and go a different direction? Put Batcave across the way with maybe Nightwing and Huntress and maybe other heroes they do, and leave this completely villains? Or do you still like the idea of Batman surrounded by his villains? I need your help here, and I know that I'm going to get a million different answers, and that's just the way it is here on YouTube and on Facebook and everywhere else. Of course, I've already posted this in Facebook, and I've had so many great opinions, but even with all those opinions, I still struggle with making this decision. And of course, I can leave it like this for a long time. You know, I'm not going to get the Fabok piece. And that's another thing, is that Fabok piece, if I get the Fabok Batman versus Joker, do I really need the Fabok with the giant cape? So I know not everybody likes that one. It has that kind of that dollhouse effect. But I'm going to kind of show you what's over here, and then I'm going to show you all of the photos. And again, I just need your help. I really want you guys to help me figure out whether I should leave it like this, switch it with a different Batman, or maybe move Batman and the heroes on the other side. I also had the idea of maybe the other side just being Batman and a Joker. Like, you know, Hush Batman with a Hush Joker, or a Fabok Joker with a Fabok Batman. What do you guys think about that idea? Of course, I have the Grey Capullo Joker I have nothing to pair with yet, but maybe if they do a Capullo Batman. I know I'm laying a lot on you guys right now, but I've got a lot to think about as I have limited space. And so I'm going to show you what's over here. I'm going to show you the photos, and then, again, I need your help. Alright guys, so here's my current setup, and again, my original thought was Batman surrounded by his villains. So again, I have, of course, Deathstroke up here, which looks really great, and I've got the 1/3 scale Bane. He does have a Batman in his base, but because he's so high, you don't really see him. Then, of course, you have the Bermejo Joker right here. And this spot right here was going to be reserved probably for the New 52 Harley Quinn from Prime 1. And of course we have the Batman, Poison Ivy and all of her beauty right there. And then of course this Joker, like I said, this Joker will not be here. And then of course we have the Batman who laughs. Now there is a spot here, so that could maybe be a Talon, let's say, or maybe even a Penguin up there. You know, you can have the Harley here, you can maybe have the Talon here. I think basically because I can have like somebody here because of the tiered system, I think I can have one here and then probably one here. Just so like 2 on the bottom shelf, 3, and then 4. I think that's probably what I could fit. Again, if I don't, you know, if I move Batman, that does leave space for potentially 4 here on this shelf. I don't know. It really depends on these freaking Prime 1 bases are so massive. But if I had a narrower base like this one, I could probably do 4 across here. So moving Batman would give me more room if I put him on the other side of the room with the heroes or the double Batman Joker combo idea. I just don't really know what to do. So again, that's kind of my current setup. I am going to show you my pictures here from Eric that helps you kind of see what the different Batmans look like in the center. So if you guys like that idea better. But again, I'm really curious as to whether you think you like the idea. Again, like the Rogues Gallery guy said, you know, it's really easy to pull off with quarter scale Batman surrounded by his villains. But when you're talking about these massive 3rd scale statues, it's harder to pull off. I think I've done a good job of making this display. You know, I hand custom built all this for this idea, but you know, now that I'm looking at it, I just don't know. Also, you know, I just don't know if I love that pop of blue in the middle. Obviously, you know, there's some greens and some purples, so there is some color here, but again, my favorite Batman is always kind of a darker version. But again, if you had the Fabok, you're going to have a cape that comes up to here and blocks off half of, sorry, I just made that out of focus, but half of Bane you're not going to see. So that is a problem. I still like the Fabok piece a lot, and even if I don't put it here in the middle, I'll put it on the other side or maybe in another front display. I don't know. So, anyway, let me know what you think. Again, I'll show you the photos, and then we'll wrap things up. Alright guys, so here we have the photos, and again, this was basically what my current setup looks like. And again, I think it looks really great. It's a lot of pop of color, but I'm not used to color in my Batcave. It's kind of weirding me out a little bit because everything's usually dark. There's a lot of dark colors. Although I do think that this looks great. Again, obviously though, the Batman does take up a lot of space, although with this pose, he's not really going to block anybody. Now again, thanks to Eric B that photoshopped this for me, because this piece is inevitable. Everybody always says that they're going to be doing this in the black version, and I do think this looks really good. I think I actually prefer the way it looks overall aesthetically, more with the black version, but who knows how long that'll be, or even if they will do it at all. And so that gives you kind of an idea of what it would look like. And then we also, this is thanks to Joe Coletto, who sent me this image of the Fablock Batman. He even included Talon in the front and the top, so because that's one I've ordered, and I'm really excited about that one. But obviously his cape blocks most of Bane, and I'm not exactly sure if he really fits in necessarily with the way the display looks. I definitely want to know your thought. He did one last photo. Again, thanks, Joe. He put the Noel in there, and I do think he looks really good, although, you know, he is a little bit undersized compared to some of these newer pieces, but he is the Black Batman like I like, and so it's really, really difficult to decide, and that is exactly why I need your help. But without further ado, let's go ahead and wrap things up. All great choices. All right, guys, so again, there you have it. What do you guys think? Again, I know I'm asking a lot of questions, and again, I know these are collector problems, but all of your input really does help me in trying to figure out what the community thinks might look best, because I always see things my own way a lot of times, which is, you know, it's my collection, so I mean, I should make those decisions, but your input really truly helps. This community aspect of this hobby, helping each other out, I try to help out as many people as I can, but I'm asking for your help here. Like, what do you guys think? Again, I am going to make an announcement here soon about my displays. Talking to my wife, you know, she thinks that I should leave this white part, the same. Because I'm thinking about doing like custom shelving throughout. So if I do leave this the same, it might look the same forever, or maybe the collection will change. But what I'm asking you again is just the right now. The right now in 2021, almost 2022. Like, this is kind of what it'll be like for a little while before, you know, maybe the construction project begins. But again, thank you guys so very much for your input. I really appreciate all your comments. I thank you guys for watching. Love you all so very much. And if you are new here, please consider hitting that red button down below. That's the subscribe button. That really helps our channel. We're getting closer and closer to 30K. So thank you guys for everybody that's subscribed. This channel is growing tremendously, and it's all thanks to you guys. I just cannot thank you guys enough. Also, if you are new here, or even if you are not new here, please hit that like button. Click that join button down below for early access if you haven't done so. And I want to thank each and every one of our Brotherhood of the Bat members. Thank you so very much for supporting us that way. You guys are absolutely amazing. It really does help tremendously. So thank you guys very, very much. Love you all. I'll see you soon right here in the Batcave. Thanks again, everybody, for your awesome input. Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today, and if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these two awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.